So, the first exercise we're going to do is the mindfulness of breath. Um, Breathing obviously is a big focus in mindfulness. It is something that obviously we do all day, every day, and isn't even something that we give a whole lot of thought to. But when we utilize the mindfulness of breath, when that is your anchor, because this is what we consider the items that we use for your senses. The anchor is the sense that you're choosing for your mindfulness piece, right? So this anchor is breath. So it is, I like to consider it like an idea of really intensely focusing on or dissecting whatever the item is that you're using for your anchor. So, in this exercise, we're going to really focus in on breath and how that can be a really grounding piece. So if you can get comfortable in a chair or on the floor or whatever is good for you, you want to be in a position that is comfortable for you, but not a position where you could potentially fall asleep. Now, keep in mind if the goal here is you're struggling with sleep or insomnia is something that you struggle with, then great, get yourself in that position. But if you're utilizing this as the to teach yourself mindfulness as a management of stress, anxiety, depression, etc., then you don't want to fall asleep during these exercises because that's ultimately not the goal. So if it is to manage sleep or insomnia, then go for it in a laying position. But otherwise, sitting up position is preferred so that you don't fall asleep. So whatever's most comfortable for you. If you're comfortable on the floor, cross-legged, if you want to sit in a chair, that is great. Just get yourself in a comfortable position. Okay, hopefully you are in that position now and can find a comfortable spot. So let's just start by focusing on breath, right? So as you're breathing in and out, let's just take a really deep inhale, as slowly as you can take it in. And then a slow exhale. Let it all the way out. And continue to do that. As we're doing that, do you notice your body with the breath? Do you notice it most in your chest with the rise and fall of your breath? Do you notice it most in your diaphragm at the bottom of your belly? When you're doing these slow inhales, why don't you, wherever you notice the breath most, put your hand there and then take an inhale and an exhale and watch your hand move up and down and continue to breathe. Slow, intentional inhale, slow, intentional exhale. You're going to notice that your mind wanders. It's very normal. It's what our brains are intended to do. Don't get frustrated. Don't get angry. Don't get mad. Don't have any emotion towards it. Just notice it. Recognize that your mind has wandered and bring yourself back to the focus on your breath. Again, at this point, what we're doing is looking at your breath moving in and out of your body while watching your hand move up and down on either your chest or your belly, whichever one you're choosing to use. Slow inhales, slow deep exhales. Whatever's the most comfortable pace for you. If you're new to this practice, You're probably noticing that your mind is wandering a lot. That's okay. It takes time for you to get that habit broken, if you will. It's not that you're doing it wrong. Just notice that your mind has wandered and bring it back to the present. Bring it back to your breath. If you notice the sensations in the room, if there's some noises that are around you, if it's cold, if it's hot, and that's distracting, just pay attention to that and then bring yourself back to your breath. Slow inhales, slow deep exhales. If your hand is still on your chest or your belly, you can set it back on your lap or next to you, whatever's more comfortable. Let's shift your focus someplace else for a moment. So if you're breathing out of your nose or out of your mouth, there's no wrong way to do this, but notice what it feels like. Pay attention to what it feels like as you're breathing in and breathing out. Again, remember there's no judgment. Just, is it cold? Is it warm? Do you notice anything as you're taking the deep breaths in and the deep exhales? If you notice that your mind has wandered, if you're getting distracted, it's okay. Just gently bring your attention back to the breath. If you think about what it would look like inside of your lungs while you're expanding and contracting with the inhale and exhale. If you're a visual person, that might be helpful for you. If you're not and sensations work for you, continue to focus on the sensation of temperature, if it's cool or if it's warm as you're breathing in and out. Slow inhales, slow exhales, nice and deep with the breath. Sometimes your mind will wander, that's okay. Just bring it back to this moment, reminding yourself that this is what you're doing in this moment, and you'll get to those other thoughts later. Why don't you let your breath return to its normal breathing state, right? It's good to take some slow, intentional inhales and exhales. But why don't you just let your breathing return to its normal state, whatever that is? It's okay if it's slow breath. It's okay if it's fast. It's that shallow breathing or if it's deep. Just let it be what it is. Our bodies are pretty amazing. Let them do what they do naturally. just remember, if your mind is wandering, just bring it back to your breath and focus on what that's like. If you're better to focus on the sensations or in the breath in your mouth or nose, wherever the air is going in and out. If it's easier for you to maintain focus on your chest rising and falling or your belly, do that. If it's good for you to put your hand there so you can visually watch that better, do so. Again, there's no wrong way. Whatever's the best for you, you can do. You can kind of curtail this to whatever works best for you. So as you found kind of a rhythm to what your breath is and just allowing it to return to normal, let's start to bring your awareness back to the present and bring it back to the room and the surroundings that you have. When you feel ready, you can sit back up and get back into your normal position that is before you got into this comfortable position that I asked you to do, and just think about, just kind of process what you're feeling. Like, was this comfortable for you? Was this uncomfortable for you? Again, it's okay no matter what it was that you felt. If there were some things that came up for you, that's okay. Just, what was this experience like for you? What was this exercise like? Sometimes breathing is enough of a stimuli for people. Sometimes people need to layer that with other pieces. But sometimes the mindfulness of breath is enough for people. So if this isn't enough for you, that's okay. There's lots of other options that we're going to teach. So, but what was it like for you? Just think about that. What was the experience like? Think about what it was. Just give yourself a few minutes before you get up and move about whatever's next on your agenda for the day or evening or whatever time of day it is for you. So take a deep breath and enjoy it. And thanks for listening.